What is a lucid dream and how can you get better at experiencing them?
Oh, that's a good one, Chris. A lucid dream is when you are in control of your dream. In fact, you're fast asleep, but you know you're dreaming and you are in control of the experience itself.
It is a really neat thing. I have only had it happen to me maybe half a dozen times in my life. And every time that I can remember right now, I was aware that I was asleep in my own bed. I was aware that my wife was 1 foot away from me. Yet I was enjoying this amazing dream that I had full control over, even though realizing I was actually lying in bed. Really, really, really cool. So
brilliant.
We're going to talk about how to set it up, how to make it a little easier for you to get involved in lucid dreaming, how to experience your first lucid dreams.
But why would you even want to? Why would anybody want to lucidly dream? Well, first of all,
why do you want to?
Well, it feels completely real. Your brain is able, with its immense power, to make a dream that is every bit as 3D and vivid as the room you're in right now. And that is a lot of fun.
Yeah, like obviously you could just have fun with it and explore things that you've never been able to do. You could turn yourself into a jet airplane and you can fly across the Atlantic Ocean and get wherever you want to go. Land in Europe or something neat like that.
Land in Europe, wow.
You can also play around with real things in your life. What is it that you want to accomplish? You could actually imagine going through that process and having it sucsucceed.
Sure.
So there's
Speaking
a lot
to an audience of 40,000 people.
Totally.
Playing in the world's best rock band or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's probably more tempting to imagine that you're on stage as Angus Young than.
Well, I can think of things even more enjoyable to imagine than that. But, and they don't involve.
But you can explore your imagination.
Sure.
And since the brain doesn't really know the difference between things that you vividly imagine and things that you actually experience, it can be really useful to move you towards
it gives you an experience that you can draw from.
All right,
which is amazing.
Some people naturally drift into a lucid dream.
Well, I think so,
but not too often.
I think everybody probably experiences it at least once or twice that they can recall. But it is possible to approach your night's sleep with the intention of having lucid dreams.
And that's what we're going to talk about now. So, okay, what's first? You have to realize that it's happening in order to take control, right?
And that's sort of the most common one. You suddenly realize you're dreaming. I remember when I was a kid, I was watching TV wrestling. I had a little black and white TV in my room of our apartment.
Oh, you must be.
And I was watching Stampede Wrestling out of Calgary. And it was like 2 in the morning. And I had to get up for work. And I went, that's stupid. I watched wrestling for so many hours. I got to turn it off. I went lay down in the bed.
When you say kid, I imagine you must have been in your late teens or something.
16,
if you had to get up for work.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, no, it must be 18. So I turned off the TV and I lay down. I went, that's nuts. I've just wasted all this time. And I went, wait a minute. There's no wrestling on at 2 in the morning. And I said, I don't even have a TV in my room. I must have been asleep. And then I went, wait a minute. I must still be asleep. And I opened my eyes and the room was, whoa. Like,
oh, that's wild.
And woke up. It frantically woke up at that moment. It freaked me out. That's a common thing. Waking up in the dream and realizing that you're dreaming.
I had a similar situation where just this last week, I thought I was awake, but I wasn't. And I dreamt that my wife tapped me on the shoulder like this. I didn't respond. And then she went to get out of bed and fell over onto the floor. In the morning, I go, honey, did you tap me? None of this had actually happened. And I had realized when I woke up that it was a dream. Anyway.
In fact, you're dreaming now.
I'm dreaming right now. There are the 3 things that we're going to talk about that you can use to your advantage.
How do you wake up within a dream and notice that you're dreaming? And 3 classical methods. One of them is using a clock. Another one is using fine print. And a third one is light switches. Now, let's go through these one at a time. Let's say the clock. Something interesting. Our brains, with all the RAM available, have problems when we're dreaming of getting certain things right because it just takes too much. One of them is clocks and time.
So analog or digital.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
We'll see
watches,
wonky.
Grandfather clocks, they'll seem wonky. Like, so if you habitually ask yourself when you're awake, every time you see a watch or a clock, look at it and say, am I dreaming?
It looks normal. Am I dreaming? No, I'm awake.
When you do this regularly, at some point, it'll transfer as a habit into your dream. You'll see a clock in the dream and say, am I dreaming? And the clock might go, woo.
And you'll go, yes, I'm dreaming.
Or it goes backwards, or there's too many numbers. And you'll realize you're dreaming. Now, at first, this will freak you out and you'll wake up. But as you gradually apply this more and more in your daily life, you can go, okay, I have to see the time. Oh, am I dreaming? And you notice you're not. And you just Take a relaxing breath. That becomes part of what you're doing. So then in your dream, you notice it go, and you take the relaxing breath, but you don't immediately wake up. Now, the second one is to do this as well with
fine print,
with text,
right?
Yeah.
So like newspaper or a finely printed piece of instructions, anything like that.
So if I look at one of our language pattern cards here and I look at the text, notice I'm looking at print.
Normal.
I say, am I dreaming? And it's normal. If it suddenly changes to green,
it's not really,
switches.
It's not really normal. They're
quite.
hypnotic language cards.
But if it suddenly changes color or warbles or something, I say, I realize I'm asleep at that moment. And the third one?
The third one is light switches. So
light and
for
shadows.
some reason, lights seem to be a bit wonky as well in dreams. So if you go to turn on a light switch and the lights go on, you can say, am I dreaming?
And pause and take a breath.
Not. No, I just turned on the lights for a studio. They went on.
But if you ask that and the lights start to strobe or change color or something or melt, you know you're asleep.
Mm-hmm.
So these three things. So we have clocks, we have light switches, and we have fine print. Not the order we gave them to you, but all of these can be used. You can do it habitually with all of them or just one of them and anchor it in, hardwire it in so that then you start to notice these things in your dream. Now, what about the hypnagogic state?
So yeah, this is a little bit of a bonus. The times that I have experienced lucid dreaming, I realized that more often than not, it's because I had a hard time. Maybe I woke up in the middle of the night, I had to go to the bathroom or something. I'm awake now. I go to lie down and I'm thinking, I'm going to use self-hypnosis and fall back asleep because I'm a hypnotist. And, but my brain is fighting me going, no, buddy, you want to think about this stuff. And I go, okay, fine. I guess I'm awake. I may as well think about this stuff. Eventually I get tired. I start using self-hypnosis to drift back to sleep, or maybe I'm listening to a podcast or anything like that. Then the hypnagogic state, hypnagogic. We'll put the word on the screen here. Ross, edit this in. Hypnagogic has the word go in it. That's a reminder that you're going into hypnosis or going into sleep in this case. And hypnapompic is on the way up, which doesn't have the word up in it, but it's not got the word go.
Really relevant,
so hypnagogic, you're going into sleep. When that's happening, that tends to be when I catch myself having these lucid dreams. That seems to be the more opportune time to start lucid dreaming and be aware of it, which is really awesome.
That's a good point, because I can recall times lying down for an afternoon nap, and typically you don't go much below an alpha wave or theta wave at that time, and seeing on the inside of my eyelids like landscapes and that were completely vivid, and I knew they weren't there. So I was just starting to slip across into lucid dreaming at that point.
All right, we should probably wrap up this video because it's going on longer than we intended. So what do you want to give people as a simple, empowering call to action?
Well, learning self-hypnosis is a great way to put yourself into the state where you can begin to trigger lucid dreams.
Oh, well, speaking of that, we have a recording for you. We didn't actually plan this in advance. There you go. Here's what we're going to do for you. We're going to put a link in the description under this video for the recording that you made called Journey to the Castle. I think that would be a really cool gift for everyone. It's a free download. You just have to fill out a quick form and you download it. It's awesome. And if you like it, let us know. We'd love to have you comment underneath this video or just send us in an email. You can use info@mikemandelhypnosis.com, which will go to both of us, which is awesome. Download Journey to the Castle, listen to it, and set your intention to begin lucid dreaming. Remember what we said. You got fine print, you got light switches, and you got time clocks. So just start saying to yourself, am I asleep? Am I awake? And you'll begin lucid dreaming.
Well, this has gone long enough. And
all right. I think we're dreaming.
Am I awake? Yeah.
Woo! All right. Thanks again. And good night.